Have you ever wondered how rivers can carve valleys, shift rocks, and create winding curves that change the land over thousands, or even millions, of years? Rivers are much more than just water flowing downhill. They are powerful sculptors of the Earth's surface. Today, we're diving into how rivers shape the land. We'll explore the processes they use and the amazing landforms they create. We'll look at how these changes happen over vast stretches of time. Rivers aren't just water flowing downhill, they're powerful forces of nature. As they move, they wear away rocks and soil from the land they flow over and through. This process is called erosion. The river doesn't just erode material, it also carries it along. This movement of eroded material, like pebbles, sand, and mud, is called transport. The river acts like a natural conveyor belt. Eventually, as the river slows down, it loses energy and can no longer carry all the material it was transporting. It drops these materials, often in new locations. This dropping off of sediment is called deposition. So, rivers constantly erode, transport, and deposit material. These three processes work together over long periods to dramatically change the landscape. They are the fundamental ways rivers interact with the land. Let's zoom in on how rivers actually shape the landscape. They create a variety of distinct landforms depending on where you are along the river's journey, from its source to its mouth. We can use time-lapse thinking to see how these forms develop over vast timescales. In the upper course of a river, where it begins, the land is usually steep. The river flows quickly downhill due to gravity. This fast-flowing water has a lot of energy. The river's main work here is to cut downwards into the land. It erodes the riverbed vertically. Over thousands of years, this downward erosion, combined with weathering and mass movement on the valley sides, creates narrow, steep-sided valleys. These valleys are typically shaped like the letter V. Further downstream, in the middle course, the land becomes flatter. The river flows more slowly and starts to swing from side to side. It develops curves and bends called meanders. Erosion happens on the outside bends where the water flows faster. Deposition occurs on the inside bends where the water is slower. Over time, these bends become more exaggerated and loopier. Eventually, during a flood, the river may cut through the narrow neck of a meander bend. This leaves the old bend cut off from the main flow. The isolated bend fills with water and becomes a crescent-shaped lake known as an oxbow lake. In the lower course, the river flows over very flat land, often close to sea level. The river channel is wider and deeper here. The main work of the river in this section is deposition. When the river floods, it overflows its banks and spreads out across the wide, flat valley floor. As the floodwaters slow down, they deposit the sediment they were carrying across this flat area. This builds up a wide, fertile plain called a floodplain. The heaviest sediment is dropped first, right next to the river channel. Over many floods, this builds up natural raised banks along the sides of the river. These raised banks are called levees. These processes aren't just theoretical, they've shaped some of the most famous landscapes on Earth. Let's take a look at a few real rivers that demonstrate these powerful forces at work. Think about the River Thames in the UK. Much of the land around its lower course, particularly near London, is a vast floodplain. This flat, low-lying area has been built up over millennia by the river's deposition during floods. The presence of levees, both natural and man-made, is crucial here. Look at the Amazon River in South America. It's famous for its incredibly wide meanders and the countless oxbow lakes that dot its vast floodplain. These features show the river constantly shifting and changing its course over time across the flat basin. And for an extreme example of river erosion, consider the Grand Canyon in the United States. The Colorado River has spent millions of years cutting down through layers of rock. This relentless downward erosion has carved one of the most spectacular V-shaped valleys on the planet, revealing geological history in its steep sides. These examples show the scale and power of rivers as agents of landscape change. Let's quickly recap what we've learned about how rivers shape the land. Rivers are dynamic systems that constantly interact with their environment through three main processes: erosion, transport, and deposition. In the upper course, where the gradient is steep, rivers primarily erode downwards, creating steep V-shaped valleys. This is where the river has the most energy to cut into the land. In the middle course, as the land flattens, rivers begin to meander, forming bends and curves. Over time, these meanders can be cut off, leaving behind oxbow lakes. Erosion and deposition work together here. In the lower course, on flat land, deposition becomes the dominant process. Rivers build up wide floodplains and natural levees during floods. This creates fertile, low-lying areas. These changes don't happen overnight. They are the result of continuous river action over thousands, even millions, of years. Rivers are truly powerful forces that sculpt the world we live in, constantly reshaping the landscape one ripple, one flood, one meander at a time. Understanding these processes helps us appreciate the dynamic nature of our planet. Thanks for watching and learning about how rivers shape the land. We hope this time-lapse view of geological processes has been helpful for your geography studies. Rivers are fascinating examples of how natural forces can create incredible landforms over time. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful for your home learning, please don't forget to like it. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more geography lessons and explanations designed just for you. Why not try drawing your own diagram of a river's journey from source to mouth? Label the different landforms we discussed: V-shaped valleys, meanders, oxbow lakes, floodplains, and levees. You could even use different colors to show where erosion and deposition are happening. Keep exploring the world around you.